Hello, I'm Jay Nicoll of Nicoll Investigations, and this is an Ontario Cold Cases, the podcast special edition. The headline in today's Toronto Sun from Jerry Agar reads, Canada's treatment of monstrous offenders, a supreme injustice. Canada is soft on violent crime. More specifically, the Supreme Court of Canada is soft on violent crime. The Canadian public would secure monsters in prison until they emerged feet first in a body bag. I'd have thought the people of this supposedly center-left country would be in favor of life in prison, not the death penalty. But last year, CTV News reported a new poll conducted by Research Co. has found the majority of Canadians support reinstating the death penalty for murder. According to the survey, 54% of Canadians support relying on capital punishment on murder convictions. I'm okay with a forced end to a monstrous, murderous life, but I can give up on it, and life in prison meant life in prison. In Canada, it does not, courtesy of the Supreme Court. Latest story that got me going was from Brad Hunter in the Toronto Sun. Joseph George Sutherland was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 21 years on Friday. He will be in his 80s if he's ever allowed to emerge from the perpetual darkness that is prison. Over 4 terrifying months in 1983, the IT professional raped and murdered Susan Tice and Aaron Gilmore. He pleaded guilty to 2 counts of second-degree murder last October in the brutal sex slayings. No chance of parole for 21 years. So you're saying there is a chance. Why would there be? Because the Supreme Court says so. Last year, the court took the soft on monstrous crime approach. The Globe and Mail reported a Supreme Court ruling that ended the punishment of life without parole for multiple murders has led to a greater emphasis on rehabilitation and sentencing for a wide range of offenses. The court's decision in May in the case of Alexandre Bissonnette, who killed 6 Muslim worshippers in Quebec City in 2017, said Canada's commitment to rehabilitation sets it apart from many other countries. How does it make us better? The victims of those crimes, Susan Tice, Aaron Gilmore, and 6 Muslim worshippers, are gone to whatever fate awaits us after death. We don't know for certain what that is, but we do know they are not coming back. The victims who continue to suffer are those who loved and continue to love and mourn, painfully grieve their loss. Does a court care about them? It would seem not. It seems more concerned with scholarly nitpicking of the Charter of Rights, as if that makes justices wiser than those who still double over in pain despite the years. There is no closure. Canada's Supreme Court has ruled that life sentences without the chance of parole are both cruel and unconstitutional. It determined that sentencing killers to lengthy prison terms with little hope of freedom risk bringing the administration of justice into disrepute. That was after the Stephen Harper government tried to follow the will of the people with the possibility of actual life in prison plus consecutive sentencing for multiple murders. Instead, in Canada, those who receive a true life sentence are the victims' loved ones, doomed to grieve until their own death and perhaps live to see the murderer of their loved ones go free. The Supreme Court of Canada is soft on violent crime. Please consider subscribing to Ontario Cold Cases, the podcast, on YouTube, Patreon, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.